So, comrades, Leslie had a great dramatic ability. And by that, what I mean is that she could, in both her writing and in her public appearances, make people feel the drama of their own lives and the significance of their own lives. And because of that, she was a celebrity. She was a genuine celebrity. And that can be a danger for a communist, because, let me back up just a minute on that. If you've ever been to one of her appearances in a public gathering where there were a lot of young people, especially from the LGBTQ community present, you would know that all she had to do was to just get up on the stage and they would go wild, like she was a rock star or something. Right. But that can be a danger, because fame is so often used by the ruling class. And she never let her fame be used that way. When you hear about how she consistently brought her politics in to every audience that she addressed. But there's another thing about it too, about fame and about being seen in the way that she was, you know. And that is that there's a certain perception, and a lot of times it's true, that this goes along with thinking that there's a lot of kinds of work that you're just too good for. And she was never like that. And I want to talk about, very briefly, what she did on the paper. Because she was on the editorial staff of the paper for many years, and she took on many responsibilities, and she carried them out through hard work and devotion and with her own special talents. She used the paper to educate the progressive movement and class-conscious workers on the issues of lesbian, gay, and trans oppression. And at a time when many in the left movement were still backward on this question, she wrote the series Lavender and Red, which shed light on the role of LGBTQ people in the communist movement, going way back. She also made sure, and others have mentioned this, that the work done by advanced Cuban communists to combat gender oppression was well reflected in Workers' World, and defended Cuba at a time when it was under vicious attack. And there were 2 books based on articles she wrote for Workers' World newspaper, Lavender and Red and Rainbow Solidarity in Defense of Cuba. But there's another role she shouldered in the paper for many years, and it was a difficult one. WW for decades has had a policy, and still does, of mailing the paper free to prisoners who ask for subscriptions. Especially after the heroic Attica rebellion and other uprisings in the brutal US prison system, our paper was passed around from hand to hand, reaching many thousands behind the bars. Leslie took on the job of editing a special prison page in the paper that reported on these struggles and printed letters from prisoners. And she also tried to answer as many of their letters as possible. And this is a heartbreaking task, I can tell you. Even at that time, when those incarcerated were much fewer than the 2.2 million people behind bars at the present time, we received a huge amount of mail from prisoners. Often they sought legal help to undo the injustices that had put them there. The few letters they are allowed to send and receive are often their only lifeline to the outside world. And for a long time, Comrade Leslie Feinberg was that lifeline for thousands trapped in the racist, sexist hellholes that they call correctional facilities. Leslie also encouraged other queer comrades to work on the paper. She made it clear that their special sensibilities and their deep, deep hatred of oppression were both appreciated and sorely needed as we build a movement fighting to liberate the working class and all humanity from this monstrous, putrid capitalist system. Comrade Leslie, present them.